Jorby, but when you look at least the history here, if you go to the Wikipedia page of EnVy and you go and you see what teams EnVy are having their runs ended by, it's NRG across the board, and they are all over them. The last time that they took a series off them here was back in the Brawl 10K. So for EnVy, this is a series that's been very tough for them here, but to your point, this is the time to show up. They get another 0-0 score here right off the bat, see if they can get something in, and NRG already putting on the pressure.
Another shot, but ooh. Well, NRG, they're not starting off slow today at all. That work in front of the attacking third on EnVy's half, they are hard to get by. Look at this, Squishy and Justin wanting to get a little tricky. Squishy's just gonna make everyone think that he's gonna go for it. And Atomic is demoed, so the first minute completely belongs to NRG. EnVy have touched the ball probably twice. There's the third time by Atomic.
And to look out for on the EnVy side is Mist. He came into this playoff bracket tied for the most goals here in this regional at 17, alongside AJ from the Peeps and, of course, Sosa from Plot Twist. He's the guy who's been able to create a lot of opportunity for EnVy, and he's got to look out for it as he makes a save here off a Squishy's soft shot.
I have a feeling you'll be seeing a lot of that with Mist, but Atomic, I think, there's some people might have some question marks on him after what happened yesterday with, whatever issue he was having with his mechanics or controller. EnVy really hoped that that doesn't happen again. Atomic, especially, the first man who hopes that it never happens, especially in a match like this where they haven't been successful recently against NRG. And I mean, these first 2 minutes, I think, have shown you why. EnVy are starting to grab the ball a little bit more. They're starting to grab those boost pads, but NRG just got such a strong start on the kickoff, and they were able to take a very quick advantage on boost, and that's made life difficult for EnVy.
EnVy certainly have gotten a foothold in this game after that early pressure, though, and they're giving it back to the NRG side. NRG doing very well to stick with the play right now. Both teams actually staying very disciplined on defense right now. No panic from either side. This is a dangerous ball, as that one actually goes off of a play. It was Atomic who's going to get credit for it. What a shot.
On the shot and turned into an own goal. So, Squishy didn't get the read he wanted to. Turbo actually did so much work there on the backboard, causing some chaos and pushing the player out. Wow. Not how I expected that one to start. That goal kind of came out of nowhere. And it's an EnVy with the lead despite that early pressure from NRG.
And this is, I think, best case scenario for EnVy in this matchup, especially in game one. Winning game one, I think, is so crucial when you aren't favored in a matchup and when history says you aren't favored in a matchup. And it's been very close. Here's Turbo Pulsa. Can he put this one down? He can, but a big save from Justin on the goal line, and EnVy will just stay ahead by one.
But Garrett, determined to be a monster again in a playoff match, has had pretty good ball handling in this opening game. He's going to have another go at it here. Looks for Justin, on the cross. Had the save from Atomic. He's got to save it again. He'll catch it, but he gets bumped out of the way. Another shot. Turbo slammed into his net for another save. EnVy retaining this lead, but here's NRG. Quick pass. Atomic read it before it even came. And now EnVy can start pushing NRG back a little bit more, but that touch will keep things going. Justin wasn't able to win that touch against Turbo. EnVy starting to dictate the rhythm, but quickly that can flip. The pass wasn't really in a hard spot for Turbo to catch. In fact, he handled it perfectly.
NRG not getting a lot of opportunity here. EnVy doing a great job of breaking up anything that NRG start to put together. And Johnny Boy has said this multiple times, especially for this week's regional, is when things go bad for NRG, they tend to collapse. And things aren't bad for them quite yet, but they certainly aren't looking good for them. It feels like EnVy are getting better and better. That's a big miss from Turbo Pulsa. It came down quick and he couldn't get to it. But NRG, even with all the pressure that they had earlier on, still can't find the back of the net. And EnVy seem to get better and better on defense. Here's Justin's shot's going to be wide. Squishy with the follow-up. Atomic with the save. And still, EnVy keep a clean sheet.
And Turbo's miss might come back to haunt him. You're going to get that clear now, kill a little more time off the clock, win another 50. Turbo's starting to, get some W's behind his 50-50s. If that continues to swing his way, It will be really hard to stop EnVy, and that one off the back wall. Atomic can't get enough power. He lobbed it up for Turbo Pulsa. They caught the entirety of NRG racing back towards their end, but they did keep them out. That touch actually is the best touch Atomic probably could have made there. Any other one was going to be right into NRG, but here they come again. Justin denied, that time by Mist. Time expiring as Turbo just sits behind the ball. Win this 50 and you win game 1. It wasn't good enough. High bounce. Good performance from EnVy in this first game. It was, hot and cold at times for both teams, but EnVy getting out of a really close one.
Well, it says something when you hold a team to 0 goals when they're averaging over 2.5 here in this regional. NRG just couldn't find the back of the net, and to be fair, they had quite a bit of shots here, 10 in total. EnVy, though, were able to find the mark the only time here between the two teams, and I think this is the type of series that EnVy will find themselves in if they're going to win it. They definitely don't want to get into a shootout with NRG, that's for sure. That's where I think NRG really shine.
I totally agree with that. I think EnVy has had one of the best defenses in North America all season, and I think that that's part of the reason why they've been so consistent and stayed in that top 4 conversation. Corelli, I just feel like NRG have had their number lately in a lot of situations, but after that first goal got scored, and even a little bit before that, NRG started losing their positional advantage. They weren't winning as much boost, and it just started to trade 50-50. Like when I was switching between all the players, checking boost totals when EnVy were pushing on offense, like NRG weren't really, I wouldn't say they were stretched or starved for boosts. At most, it was probably like a 60-40. So they're not feeling pressure as far as their boost tanks are concerned. So what happens with the positioning when all of a sudden they lose that midfield confidence? Here's Mist to start game 2. Back to Atomic. The miss on the backboard. What's happening to NRG?
Well, a little bit cleaner first goal here from EnVy, and Justin was trying to buy time, but it just lands in the lap of Mist. His team's still rotating back in NRG, and Atomic comes flying through. But Justin was just trying to buy some time, and he didn't buy enough, and EnVy just collapsed on the ball.
Another quick goal for Atomic. A laser. He reads and calls it corner pocket. Nails it.
And no one up to contest, and perfect shot from Atomic. Very tough to save from Justin's angle. And that's what happens when you leave uncontested balls to Atomic in the midfield, especially when he's got momentum behind it. He's able just to hit that ball with pace. Tough to save, and EnVy, again, beautiful start here against NRG.
I mean, that was the perfect kickoff for EnVy too. Like Atomic was in the perfect spot off that initial kickoff challenge. NRG connect on the path, but it's off the crossbar, and Atomic taking away Justin's shot opportunity. And now they're left scrambling. EnVy are starting to find those passing lanes a little more, but Turbo couldn't snipe it, and man. Garrett G connects.
Justin is just so sneaky. You feel like he's not going to get any momentum behind this, and Turbo bites on it, thinking that Justin maybe go for a flip reset or follow it up. Instead, he doesn't get a second touch, lands on it, pinches it towards the net, and NRG hit one back. And for EnVy, that one's a tough one because, it felt like Justin was really going nowhere with the ball, and instead is able to develop a play for Garrett to follow up on.
I don't think Turbo can shake himself too much for that one.
Yeah.
They've looked pretty good otherwise, and right up until that passing play, they had snuffed out a lot of NRG's passes, which are becoming more telegraphed than usual. He's squishy, he's playing a close second man, but lets Justin rip it, and Turbo will have the save. NRG, they won't commit on every push. They'll test the defense on the back wall a couple of times. Garrett actually getting a good win for Justin, and then creates a path for Squishy. Squishy has Garrett waiting, but he can't connect onto the ball. And now EnVy reset again. Atomic and Mist, both desperate to get that clear. They do. EnVy in a tight situation on defense, get out yet again.
Clear there from Justin as well. No boost to work with here. Tried to give her to Squishy and wasn't able to. Squishy actually does get back to it. EnVy doing a great job to break out right now. But NRG, they like to play that back wall low off the back ball, really, and just putting it past that last defender until finally they leave the open net. Here's Squishy's shot's going to be a bit high and Mist to make the save.
Another long ball for Turbo. This time Mist is there to receive it, and NRG something they hadn't had to do a lot in game one, or at least a lot of game one, was, you know, trap the ball in the corner, carry it, and go for a quick, long clear. You stay close to it if you can, but if you can connect like Garrett G and Justin did there, well, this is what EnVy have been given right back to you. Quick clears the other way, and it might come down to who's got the better counterattack. Turbo takes this away and, missed jumping a little early. And he'd just been a little more patient, maybe EnVy could have got something set up.
Good pressure from Justin there to at least prevent the initial clear. But again, EnVy, good support to have someone follow up. EnVy trying to throw bodies at it, but immediately EnVy doing such a good job of letting plays develop in front of them, letting that first challenge kind of materialize, and then all of a sudden they're able to just break down field. That's a great shot from Mist and a huge save from Justin. And NRG very much being tested here.
Everyone got stocked up on boots for NRG. Quick attack. One, it's off the crossbar. Here comes the second, but Turbo slows it down. And Atomic now can carry it out again. They pinch to force NRG the whole way back. But Garrett got a favorable roll down to Squishy, so that clear, it means only a little for EnVy. This has been such a quick aerial battle. Neither team willing to stay in their own corner for too long, Corelli. You see that first man just jet down towards midfield, and they want to get as quick of a booming pass as they can to try to just beat the other team with pure speed to the other half of the field.
And I've been watching Atomic quite a bit here in this series, and especially in this game. He's been able to read a lot of the passes from NRG and cut them out in the air. Is what's given EnVy a lot more of the advantage moving downfield. He's done such a great job of seeing those telegraph pass sometimes from NRG, and he might just win the ball here. Is unfortunately he used all his boost going into that challenge. But I think Atomic has done a great job to disrupt that midfield for EnVy and showed a lot more offense because of it.
Turbo bought some time for EnVy. And now here come NRG again. Getting higher and higher on the altitude on the pushes, and Justin has to keep shading farther and farther back on these clears from EnVy. Now, desperate for a clear, Atomic takes another pot shot. Garrett has this save, but now they're set up again. Atomic just gonna throw it long. Mist and Turbo were playing that one pretty safe. With this amount of time left, you understand why, but here's a passing play denied. Jumping in front was Squishy. NRG got one last chance down the pitch here in game number 2. Now, the desk, Twitch chat, everybody thought that this was going to be an easy GG for NRG, a 3-0 sweep for them, but we're looking at the complete opposite. EnVy threatening to take down NRG.
It's quite surprising, and these are well-earned wins from EnVy. It's not like they're sitting and playing defense for the entire game and able to counterattack. No, they've been tested on defense for sure, but it's great offense from them, especially in this game. You know, you look back at the first game, the first goal was an own goal, but in this game, Atomic really showed his stuff, and I thought he had one heck of a game here against NRG, even after his 2 goals that he put away. Did a great job to keep EnVy in the game here, and I'm very excited for EnVy because I think they're showing the big potential that this team has to take down teams like NRG. I think a lot of people assume that, we don't count out EnVy, but you know, the history does show NRG winning this matchup. They look good here against NRG today.
NRG just haven't had the boost control to do what they did in the first half of game 1, Corelli. Like, they haven't been able to get that creative again. And when they've tried a lot of high passes in midfield to force EnVy to use, like if they're going to intercept a pass, they're going to have to commit, get the read quickly, and commit a lot of boost to it. But EnVy every time has nailed it, gotten the clear in the gap, and NRG just don't seem to have a response for it. So it's crunch time now for NRG. They got to find a way through this EnVy defense that's proving stalwart.
And for NRG, there has been a lot of opportunity, and there's been a lot of opportunity that have gone just wide of the net. I talked about NRG not being so direct. They rather beat the first and second defenders with balls put off the backboard and quick follow-ups. But right now, EnVy, they've been able to hang on, and you might have to be a bit more direct if you're NRG.
Turbo launches this next one, and, well, EnVy retained possession, missed, found it on the edge of his bumper. He'll pick up a demo just as a product of inertia, and that will slow down NRG just a little bit more unless Squishy gets a solid clear out. This will stop Mist momentarily, Actually, it won't stop Mist at all. Here, he just gets the read to set EnVy up again. Atomic has the shot off the crossbar, and Justin next to get that ball cleared out. I see that the U is now gone, and Justin, and I don't know if that means anything for Justin. I know his slumps are different from everyone else's, but NRG are feeling sluggish right now as Atomic puts in another for EnVy.
And just disaster backboard defense for NRG, and I don't think players had enough boost to get up to it. But you know, we always talk about it, Jorby, at this level, balls that go off the center of the backboard like that is just free game for the attackers. And you see here again, NRG punished because no one can get up, and that's just credit to EnVy. They whittled them down here. Good offense so far here. Again, starting off well.
No success for NRG again on that last push. Where can they find a solid win against Atomic? Now they're going to find the opposite side. They're trying to catch EnVy out on their flow, hit them on the weak side. But EnVy have been relaxed enough in those situations on their rotation to handle it. And Mist got a little piece of that. And that was a tough ball to get that sort of touch on. Garrett's going to receive a pass. Now they got a chance. Justin sets up quick as the second man. Mist last in back for EnVy. He can't do it. Garrett G puts NRG on the board.
They finally got that last defender isolated. It was just Mist, and he just whipped around. And Garrett with the slightest flip reset off the ball to push that one past Mist, and NRG get on the board here to tie things up.
That's the jolt to the heart NRG needed. They needed a splash play. They needed some fortune. They needed Justin to almost nail that double touch. But now you see maybe off that kickoff, they've awoken the beast. Garrett G challenged by Atomic. EnVy, they have to remain 100% focused against this rejuvenated team now. I mean, you just see it, right? Like, all it takes, one solid push on the kickoff for NRG, but you see the respect for EnVy. They've played a lot this season. I think 10 times in total. These guys both know each other like the backs of their hands, playing so much. And it all just comes down to execution for both teams. NRG, maybe they can start to complete their execution because EnVy have gotten the better of them for the most part. Garrett is doing a lot of work. That was excellent. Keeping things really disguised in the corner. I'm always impressed by Garrett. I don't really feel like the dude is ever slouching in a game.
It's very rare that you don't see, or that you see a bad game from Garrett. He is one of the most consistent players that NA has produced and has been on one of the most consistent teams for a reason. And even with the pickup of Squishy, it still feels like NRG have that same type of consistency. Obviously, Squishy, a great player in his own right, but they got some work here to do against EnVy, and they haven't quite looked the most consistent here today. But like you said, Jorby, that one goal, they've shown a bit more poise down the field, and this is dangerous now. Atomic's going to have a shot. It's going to go off the back wall. Justin backflips, and nobody else from EnVy there, and NRG get away with it.
I think maybe Atomic was looking for something else to develop on that play. Instead, he shuffles it past a Turbo, and Garrett gets most of it. NRG relying more and more on Garrett on defense to get them out of these tough situations. He's answered the call so far, but how many times can he be tasked? Because NRG have really felt this attack from EnVy. When they get even a little bit set, they finally find Garrett again. Feeding the machine, NRG take the lead.
And Garrett, I was on Garrett's cam ears, patiently waiting to see how far Squishy was going to go with this. And a great pass out from Squishy. Give him credit to hit Garrett on the far side. Garrett cuts the pass early and beats the defender on the near post there. Great play from both Squishy and Garrett to read that one across the field. And with 45 seconds left now, the ball's in EnVy's court. What do they have for us?
They got Mist and Atomic behind the ball. That's an interesting 50 as it's high off the backboard, but Atomic getting demoed on the play is going to force Turbo the whole way back. And Turbo tried to slow it down, but Squishy knew exactly what Turbo was up to. Now Mist behind the ball. They got a pass to Turbo. He's looking for the side, but couldn't find it off the post. Atomic completes the attack, and EnVy tie things up quickly.
Wow, what a bounce from the post. Turbo, great read. just wide, and Atomic there to clean things up. NRG were all bunched up in their net and let Atomic come through. EnVy respond, tied up with 19 seconds.
It goes back now to the mentality for NRG. Can they handle the back and forth? They've already proven to themselves in this match that we can move by this. Garrett's playing insane. Justin makes a couple sick moves, and Atomic keeps EnVy out of it for now. They gotta stay resilient because this is where it gets the toughest. Off the ceiling, OT for NRG's tournament life.
A lot of pressure on NRG here. Like you said, this could be the final goal for this regional for NRG if they can't get one. Here's Atomic, he can't get the touch. For NRG, I think it really is about staying calm in this situation. You know, history is on your side with this matchup. You just got to find the back of the net. Justin might do it here with no boost. And unfortunately for them, EnVy get away with it.
I think Atomic is really feeling confident today. He's been really smart on his approaches to his challenges. He's even getting key bumps in a play just to slow down NRG on the attack. He's going to need to hold the ball close here with Justin, but he sneaks under him. Missed on the challenge, actually got the ball by Squishy. Garrett's going to have the first look. And if you want anyone behind the ball right now, it's Garrett G if you're an NRG fan. Another catch here from Justin, but EnVy have been reading that catch, and there's someone usually in that NRG corner waiting. Not this time, because they know they got to respect at least the flow and the weak side of the pitch. You can't cover every attacking corner, otherwise the ball, well, it sails past your entire team. But Corelli, I mean, EnVy still not really feeling too much from NRG consistently in this OT.
Yeah, a little bit of a conservative approach coming into this overtime. I think NRG know what's on the line here. Garrett, huge save on the goal line, and now Atomic didn't have a lot of boost to work with. Did pick up that corner, and he might just get back around to a flip reset from Atomic out of nowhere, and NRG scrambled to clear that one out.
NRG were scaring me when you had two players rotating back real close together. Now missed, has a breakaway, slams it off the back while Turbo is denied by Justin. But Atomic waiting close by, winning a bout against Garrett G. But Squishy's there to get one more clear and extend overtime just a little bit longer. Missed another carry, that kicked out away from him. And now Justin gets two challenges. That's pretty big for NRG. Now he's going to drop it off for Squishy. Atomic misses. Squishy's got two touches, but EnVy, well, they swing to the side. Garrett slows it down. It's going to be tough to get by Mist on that play, and Mist gets them out of the next hole. EnVy, now they're starting to have to play a lot of defense, but Atomic kicks one out. Oh, that miss might give Turbo a shot. Mist has to wait. Was maybe expecting to clear. He had to respect it, but Corelli, EnVy, all of a sudden are knocking at the door.
Yeah, and you can see again, Mist doesn't want to overcommit. They want to take this one in a more conservative fashion, and Atomic might do it himself. He's going to do it for the 3-0 over NRG. A wide open shot for him, 2.5 minutes, and they take him down.
Atomic is an apt description because EnVy went absolutely nuclear on NRG during this set. The crowd said 3-0 NRG. EnVy had other things in mind. They move on to the semifinals. What a statement against NRG.
Wow. And EnVy just did a lot of teams a lot of favors taking out NRG here. NRG is the demon of most teams in North America, and I think everyone, if you're competing today, are happy to see NRG go home, and EnVy stuck it out here again. That was a well-fought match from EnVy, and now they're moving up a rung here as contenders for taking this championship here today in this regional, because you take down NRG in this type of fashion where it's kind of this rough and tumble type of gameplay. I mean, this bodes well for EnVy moving forward.
They may become some people's favorites now, aside from Space Station, because EnVy, they fare a little better against the rest of the top four than they have lately against NRG. I'm excited to see what EnVy have for us in the semifinals, but we got to figure out who that opponent is. Our last quarterfinal of the day coming up after the break.